All right, folks, let's talk about a few things that used to be, let's just say, a little more painful. I'm Jeff Sangpeel, and remember those good old days, or what we thought were the good old days? Film reels that you literally had to cut with razors, tape decks the size of small refrigerators, hundreds of audio and video cables running to centralized boxes in one big room that got those analog signals where they should go, well, at least most of the time. It wasn't a workflow, it was a physical endurance test. And if you needed to share that content, even as computers came along, it was still on hard drives larger than bricks. FedEx made some serious bank from our business. So let's fast forward a few years. Our video and audio moved from analog waveforms to digital samples. They were still going to the same places and kind of down the same cables, but a lot more reliably. We started to digitize everything. We moved from physical media to files, yet we were still tied to our local machines, our on premise servers, routers, our heavy, still needing to depreciate infrastructure. Our data was still, for all intents and purposes, in a box. A very expensive box with a lot of blinking lights, but it was still a box. And when we wanted to collaborate, we were still emailing massive files back and forth, and even worse, using things like FTP. It felt like we were sending smoke signals to each other. But now, something fundamental has shifted. We've stopped thinking of our media as physical assets, and we've started thinking of it as data streams. And when you do that, a whole new world opens up for you. Flows of media, audio, video, going to as many places as you can conceive. NDI, SMPTE 2110, Dante, all going everywhere, even to the outside. So now enter the cloud. Now, I know some of you are thinking, cloud, great. I just don't need another bill from Amazon. But the cloud and data center based infrastructure isn't just about storage any longer, it's about your elasticity. It's about on demand processing power. It's about being able to spin up virtual editing suites in a different time zone or render a 4K file in minutes instead of hours without having to buy a whole new rack of servers. It's about not having to purchase that Ferrari just to make the quick trip to the grocery store. You just rent it for the job and you still look good bringing home that bacon. And if you're using a private data center, you still maintain the autonomy over your assets and IP. The buckets are yours, along with everything inside of them. That data center also gets your content delivered. The old world of the master control room has been completely set free. So, what happens when you combine that with the other big shift? Artificial intelligence, AI. Now, let's be clear. We're not talking about Skynet. We're talking about smart tools. Tools that are going to get smarter every few months. Think about it. A machine that provides the translations to all the foreign languages you've ever wanted to deliver your message to reach as you're recording or delivering. Another machine that can automatically transcribe an interview for you. A program that can scan all your raw footage and tag every time a specific person or character or a specific object is in the frame. AI is able to do all that tedious, time consuming work so your talented editors and producers can focus on the creative work, the storytelling. And it doesn't matter what part of the industry you work in, it's always been about that message. That was Communications 101 back in school, when some of us still had refrigerator sized equipment to get all this work done. We're not talking about replacing people, it's about augmenting them. It's about a post production workflow where the system can pre sort and label 1,000 hours of footage, and you, the human storyteller, can go from an idea to a rough cut in a fraction of the time it used to take, allowing you to create a lot more takes. It's about a broadcast operation that can automatically create highlights from a live sporting event and push them to social media in real time. We're moving from a world of manual labor to a world of intelligent orchestration. I said years ago, you don't need to work harder, you just need to work smarter. So, what is your takeaway? The transformation isn't just about buying new hardware or subscribing to a new Surface or putting new pipes into that same old house. It's about a change in your mindset. It's about embracing a future where your media is a living, breathing data stream. A stream that you can access from anywhere, that you can process with infinite power, and that you can make smarter with a little help from our new robotic friends. It's no longer just a media workflow, it's a data driven media pipeline. And this isn't the future, folks. It's happening right now. So, how do you begin with all of this after the realization that you don't need to do all the lifting yourself, that your pipelines and workflows can iterate as you need them? that you've transitioned into a completely new world, one that adapts to what you need to do today, instead of listing the reasons why you can't do the new work because of the old ways of doing things that you're stuck in. So let's first get everyone past the new pipes will do mentality. New pipes doing the same old thing is just the same old thing. When it's time to conceive of how you build the next you might just realize that the smart thing is to let others build the virtual version of you. And then they can rebuild it over and over. Your part will be to get those video streams, the video files to the new virtual you, and that virtual you will have limitless possibilities. You don't have to worry if that AC unit in your machine room is going to handle all those cool things you need to be able to have to compete in the ever adapting world of media production. So, drop me a line. I'm available to consult on your transition workflow, and all of the options are on the table.